Hi, it's James from Accelrys with yet another add-in for Accelrys Draw. So in the past, I created a chemistry add-in that connected to the ChemSpider web services, and then the first one I did was the search and all its methods, and also settings for setting the ChemSpider token. And then a little while later, I added the spectra lookup. And then on Facebook today, I came across a paper that Tony Williams from the RSC had been a co-author on, and it was all about the new MassSpecAPI. So I decided to add another add-in which is using that. This is the menu for it. So you can search by composition or mass, and the UI is slightly different in each case. So we'll go by composition first of all. So this is the UI. I can type in a formula. There's a long list of databases that you can search in. There seems to be some limit on the number that you can select, but what I've done to save having to select them each time, once you've made your selection, it's saved as a setting of the add-in, so that when you come back in, you'll have the same settings again as you chose the first time. So let's type in a formula and try this out. So I'm going to do C6H6O, and then just click on OK. So obviously it's found phenol. There are 10 other hits based on the database selection that I've made. I can make this dialog slightly bigger. We can have a look through at the different structures that it's found. Some quite interesting. So let's say I'm interested in this one and I want to get it back into Draw. Obviously it could be a much larger structure which would take time to draw it, but I've found it based on its formula. I can just click on transfer and the structure is transferred across for me. If I wanted to get more than one and have them on separate tabs, I can do that. I can add a new tab, and then I can continue in this window. So let's go to another record. Let's take that one back. And it comes across into Draw. Go back to the start again. And I'll take this one too, in yet another tab. So that's how that one's working. And then when we're happy with the information that we've got, we can close this. So let's go and try and take a look at the alternative mass spec search, which is by mass. So the UI is similar, but just slightly different. So in this one, we can specify a target sort of mass and then a range about which we want that to vary. So I'm going to put a 1 in there because I want to get some hits. And then I can just go ahead and click OK. Start the search off again. So this time we've got 759 hits. So I can create a new tab and say we're interested in this one. Transfer it across. And that's essentially at the different sizes of mol file. I could do something about that and set to the default bond length. I think it's depending on what the source is. Obviously ChemSpider generate these images of the structures, but the underlying source is whichever database provider it's come from. So they're the way the actual mol file is laid out is more variable than perhaps it should be, but I could do some cleaning up. We could obviously go and do a clean on some of these. and improve their appearance. But I think it's a nice new add-in, so it's available, or it will be available. You just need to drop me an email, james.jack@accelrys.com, and I'll happily send it to you. It is unsupported, but like all of these add-ins, if you find a bug, we'll do my best to fix it as quickly as possible. Okay, thanks for listening.